Everyone. Oh my gosh. Welcome to Unleash Your Life Force. I'm your host, Dr. Natasha Nelson, your life doctor. So give me a minute. Hey, everybody. Hey everyone. Welcome back. Man, I am so excited about today's show. So today I'm going to be talking about what to do when you're feeling discouraged or disappointed, and how it affects the heart. So the emotional connection between the two. So I'm super excited about this. I love this topic. If you've ever been around me and listened to me, it's like, the emotional connection and the mind-body connection is one of my favorite things to just have deep conversations about. So I want you to think about this as we start, which is, it's like, have you ever felt so excited about something and then just felt really let down by life? Like somehow life just didn't work out the way you wanted, the way you hoped, the way you anticipated, and it's that feeling of being so let down that we can feel so discouraged and disheartened and disappointed. So that's where we're going to go today, because if we're not dealing with those feelings and allowing those feelings to process all the way through, well, what happens is the energy will get stuck in the body and it will show up in the heart. So really, when we look at what is disappointment, and it's really the dissatisfaction, whether it's a person, a place, a thing, an event, something that we really wanted to happen or to come true, and it didn't. Not by fault. It's not a blame. It just didn't happen. And so when we think about why something doesn't happen, here's what I want you to think about. Because if we're really honest, really honest, disappointment comes from the attachment to the outcome of what we thought was going to happen, how we thought we would feel based on what we thought would happen. And sometimes it could be that, we reached the goal, but it's different than what we thought it would be. So again, we were attached to an outcome, or we had expectations about the outcome, and it didn't quite happen that way. So what happened? And really, it's the attachment. That's the issue. And that's what I want to go into today, because, man, it's so easy to get caught up in when we feel so excited about an idea, a dream, a goal. We also start to think about the outcome. We start to envision all the possibilities that will happen with that outcome, all the possibilities of how we might be happier, healthier, just whatever it is that we think we're going to get when we get to the outcome, that we start attaching ourselves to it. And in a way, there's a way to do that that's healthy. It is about having a vision. But it's also the emotional attachment to the fantasy of what we think we're going to get. And usually what we think we're going to get is some sort of recognition, or we're going to feel like, we're going to feel more loved, more accepted, or we're going to be somehow special or chosen. And there's a lot of external validation that we think we're going to get that we're attached to. So when we don't get it, we feel really let down and disappointed, because then we don't get what we think we were going to get at the outcome. So how this ties in with discouragement, which they're similar but not the same. So discouragement. So in Latin, the root word of coeur, meaning heart, is where that comes from. So when we are discouraged, we are disheartened. That's the literal translation. So it can be having, a big dream or big goal and something that was so big and we were even excited about it. But the disappointment or the discouragement really comes when we dive into a little bit deeper about why it didn't happen. And we think about the heart. Think about your heart, how it rules and navigates and makes the choices that we make, and our heart and the connection. So you think about just physically, the heart is designed to pump the blood through the whole body. It's what gives oxygen to every cell, every organ, every tissue, every part of your body. It's because the heart is pumping and circulating the blood and circulating the nourishment. So literally it is circulating the life force through your body. It's what keeps you alive. So that's what the heart does. And so the literal translation, right? If you don't have blood circulating, if your life force is not circulating, you will die. So what is it that is being circulated when you think about the emotional space of the heart? It's love. Love is being circulated. Love is also the universal life force. It is what allows us to move, it fuels us, but it inspires us. And that's the difference between, when we are excited about a dream or possibility, we are attached to the outcome that we can feel excited about. But when it's your heart, when it's a heartfelt dream that you have, you actually will feel inspired, and it's that inspiration that will move you forward. It's the inspiration that will also help you get through when the times feel really hard, when you have to dig really deep, and that sense of grit and resilience that comes from the depth of your heart feeling inspired. Because while you can feel excited about a goal and a dream, when things get really hard, when shit hits the fan, is it really the excitement of the possibility that will keep you going? Maybe, but it's the inspiration of your heart and your soul knowing you have to do it. Something in you is like, I need to move forward. And that's where that's going to come from, the depths of your heart. And it is love for what you are pursuing. But even deeper than that, it's love of why you are pursuing it. Because that's going to be how the deciding factor is going to be. Why are you pursuing that dream or that particular goal? Is it for the accolades? Is it for the validation? All right, it'll get you so far. And you might even succeed at it. But even if you do, you may feel let down. Because when you are pursuing a goal and the deepest heartfelt dream that you can have, and you feel inspired by it, really what that is you are inspired by who you are, the heart and soul of your being, to move towards a dream and a goal that comes from you and your heart, and you feel so much love for it because it's your gifts and your talents and your skills and everything that makes you who you are, that you are able to use in the pursuit of this goal and this dream. And that's going to be different. That internal desire to bring it forth versus external feeling the validation and getting what you think you're going to get. So how does this all relate to the heart and healing a heartache or a heartbreak or when your heart hurts? Because those are the phrases that we use when our heart is broken. Our heart is hurting. You know, we can feel like our heart has been crushed or being stabbed in the heart. All of these phrases, you think about it, it's really that. It's that there's an external force that's hurting our heart, that's draining the inspiration, the energy of who we are. So we are disheartened. We feel discouraged. We feel disappointed. This can show up in heart ailments, just like physical causes of, cause heart issues and heart dysfunction. But the emotional component of feeling discouraged and disheartened, if left and you just sit in that space, it will affect your heart physically. Your heart will decrease in its capacity to circulate the life force and blood and oxygen through your body. So what do you do with it? How do you start the process of healing your heart on the emotional level? Moving through heartache and heartbreak. Well, you start looking at the attachments and the expectations that you have. Because expectations and obligations, if you are really honest and you look at them, they come from an external source. Maybe it's our parents, maybe it's society, maybe it's other people's dreams that you have taken on as if they were really your own. And sometimes we really have to dig in because we think that they are our dreams. Until we look at them and dig in them a little bit and you realize, well, maybe it's because you were the first person in your family to go to college. So the expectations of the career or the financial stability of what you thought you were going to get with it. And it's not that they're right or wrong. It's about recognizing the difference between external dreams and external expectations and obligations and demands versus what are the ones your heart feels. They may be the same, but they may not be. Because when your heart hurts and you feel heartache, part of what our heart is trying to tell us is to get our attention to revisit what it is we were doing and why we were pursuing a specific dream. When we have time to examine and review and really look at the details of what we were pursuing and why, then we have a chance to go, oh, okay, you either restructure it or reformulate or come up with a new plan. And oftentimes a new plan will re-inspire you to move forward again. And it can also, when your heart is honest, you may get to where you realize that's not the dream anymore. You no longer feel inspired by what you were pursuing. And it's time to take on and dream a different dream. And so it's looking at the expectations and the attachments of your heart space, which is going to help you get more connected with who you really are, what it is that you are doing, why you do what you are doing, the authenticity of who you are becoming, who you are offering through whatever gifts and talents and skills that you are offering. And that's going to be part of healing the heartache and the heartbreak and being able to move forward. And so, yes, one of the things you start to realize with heartache and heartbreak is sometimes it is realizing a dream is coming to an end. Something is ending. And then you start to move into a place of grief. Now, I'm not going to go into how to process grief. I just did that in the previous episode. So you can go back and listen to how to process grief and how to understand the meaning below the surface of grief. So there are levels and layers that the healing the heart and healing the heartbreak. There are layers, and this is what it's about. It's so that you can understand the different layers of what is it that you are attached to, or the expectations that you had on the outcome, and also the grieving process. All of that is to say, it's to keep the energy moving. Because emotions and feelings, one of the things I always say is if you don't feel your feelings, your body will feel them for you. And if you don't feel them over time, it's going to show up as illness or injuries or disease, because you're no longer circulating the life force and oxygen into your body at the cellular level. So you become compromised. And so that's why I wanted to talk about the heart, because there is so much information about our heart, why it hurts, what we are being guided to learn, to pay attention to, and sometimes course correct into what is more in alignment, our head and our heart and our soul, and putting those all together. So I know it's a lot of information, and really today's episode was to help you get started on moving through heartache, moving through heartbreak, and recognizing that discouragement and disappointment, those are real emotions and real feelings that need to be moved through, not just